Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is a GW Tiger P, the Geschäftswagen Tiger Porsche, and it's located on the south spawn of Malinovka. And there's one mark of excellence on the barrel, which means it's not mine because I don't have a mark of excellence on mine. This one belongs to Zdzikus. And if you've been watching our channel, you probably have just seen a replay with the GW Tiger P on Glacier. And in that battle, Zdzikus did very nicely indeed, managed to get an ace tanker and a Gore's medal. Well, I can tell you in this battle he does even better still. So he's headed off into the trees to find his firing position. He did knock a tree down. I always advise against doing that if you're an arty, primarily because if you do, it gives a clues to where you are, and then people can look for the tracer. But he's found a bush to be in, and he's lining himself up to shoot. He's got the 21cm howitzer. I know that because it hasn't got the muzzle brake. And he's now looking up the hill to the enemy. This is an encounter battle, so obviously everybody's starting further up the hill. And he's at the back. There was a Batchat 25 ton there headed for the lake, and that's a bit of a worry because that tank may be trying to come after him. Luckily, we've got a Scorpion G and a few other tanks who are watching. Now, Centurion 1 rounds out. Oh, lovely direct hit. 468 hit points, 2 critical hits. That certainly made him wake up. You only carry 15 rounds of ammunition because it's the 21cm. We've got a whole load of targets to fire at. The Oho will probably be the best one. It's a big target, difficult to miss, and there's a huge number of hit points there. Looks, he's got 2 tanks to fire at the same time. He's almost loaded. A Tiger and an Oho together, rounds out. Oh, beautiful one, it hit the Tiger, but he did damage to 3 tanks with 1 shot. Or was it 2 tanks? Well, he got the Tiger 2 for 497, the Emil for 262. I think the Tiger may have shielded the Oho from the shot. The Tiger is still stunned. Now, in encounter battles like this, there's so many tanks in close proximity, it can be very easy to multiply your score, because for every shot you fire, you're more than likely going to hit more than 1 tank at once. He's lining the shot up for the Tiger, rounds out, and they pull back. But he still hits the Tiger for 334, and he gets 124 hit points off the IS-3 next to him. And he stunned all 3 tanks, the Oho, the Tiger 2 and the IS-3. Now we're still 2 tanks down, unfortunately. The enemy's doing rather well. And I think the reason for that is one of our heavies is actually holding back. He's sitting at the rock a little further down the hill to prevent anybody coming down if they do manage to win the mountaintop. Going for the IS-3. And 358 splash. It landed to one side. That's RNG, I'm afraid. Yoho's pushing forward. He's using a wreck for cover, actually. He's using one of our wrecks for cover. Yep, he's pushing along 10 feet of extra armour. 10 feet of extra steel plate. Okay, now we're almost ready to shoot again. Only 11 rounds left. Going for the Oho and the Tiger. Can he get a shot in? Rounds out. Oh, it goes long! Ouch! Oh, I hate it when that happens. RNG said no, the shell went long and it's gone too far. And we've got the Batchat 25 ton trying to go for the cap. Luckily, the Scorpion G next to the lake is, well, next to the river, is stopping that Batchat from doing it. Now we've still got that Oho pushing the wreck, but that's actually going to work against him because it slows him down and makes him almost stationary for our shells. Now, if you could see from battle assistant view, you could see the Oho would look a beautiful target right now. Rounds out on him. Direct hit. 294 hit points, 1 critical hit. That's going to slow him down for a little while. But unfortunately, all of our tanks on top of the hill have been wiped out. And that Tiger 1 has got a little further down, but he's using the wreck for cover. And he's gone down. Centurion's gone down. The enemy tanks coming down off the hill are getting wiped out. We're almost ready to shoot. 12 seconds. Got an IS-3, 2 IS-3s to shoot at. 6 seconds to go. The other IS-3's been killed. Unfortunately, the IS-3 just got a shot and we get a round in. 424 hit points into the IS-3. Give him a long stun. And the Oho is still stuck up there on top of the hill, pushing his wreck, which is a silly thing to do. It doesn't really profit you in this case, because even if with that wreck between you and the direct fire guns, the Arty shells will still rain in on top of you, and Arty will get you instead. Okay, he's lined up a shot. There we go. Ready to go in 4 seconds. 3, 2, and we don't need to shoot because the Oho's been killed. Right, so we've still got 8 rounds of ammunition. There's only 1 tank from the enemy team left up on the hill. It's an Emil. And the rest of the enemy, which is 7 tanks rather, are still on the other side of the map. The scores are even. After all that fighting. But I can say that Zdzikus has picked up 2,824 hit points of damage so far and a win rate of 2,565, and the battle's not over. So he's already up at very good standard, but we need to find targets. Okay, there's the first one. It's the Scorpion G. Dialing in. Grants out straight away. No, went long. Wasn't fully dialed in when he shot. It is dialing in now, but he's got 30 seconds. Well, 35.6 seconds, I think it is. Or 30. No, it's 38.8 seconds. He's not using premium consumables, and his 5th slot is empty. So presumably he didn't renew it, or it's not replacing automatically at the end of each battle. Now, an Object 263, I think it is, was seen there. Is still there. Right, okay, he's been spotted. He may not know that he's been spotted because he's not moving. Rounds out. Should hit. Beautiful hit. 322, but it hit the front of the vehicle where the armor is strongest. And that round came in and stunned him as well. The Scorpion's gone into the dip. That's going to be difficult to kill. We lost our Scorpion. He was fighting the other side of the battlefield, but it looks like the enemy lost their bat chat as well. Okay, so we've lost sight of the enemy, but the Scorpion we know is going to be in that dip. And that dip's at grid square F7. It's a very difficult shot. In fact, it's next to impossible to hit somebody. But the Scorpion there, in that position, he can be hit. Rounds out. Oh, it hit the water. And I just love the graphics. The way they work now, you get the fountains from the water and the spray. It looks fantastic in Battle Assistant. And I actually did wish that Wargaming would do that, and did suggest it, that when shells hit the water, they should make these huge cascades of water flying into the air. It does look so realistic now with the 1.0 upgrade. Okay, the Scorpion's gone into the dip slightly to the north, and this is really difficult shooting. As you can see, the shell would actually hit the lip of that rise, so he can't shoot at the moment. And if he pushes the aim further out, you can see that all of a sudden the shell could actually hit the water rather than the Scorpion. What you need to do is tease the aim over the point. Oh, and he fired the round in, and unfortunately you can see there it actually hit the lip of the dip. But the Scorpion has been taken out. He was killed by the Striv S1, who was watching for him to come up over the rise. I would not be surprised to see the enemy try and cap. And obviously, I think if they were to do that, then their tank destroyers, because they've got 3 of them, could overlook the cap area. Oh, they're capping. They must have read my mind. they could overlook the cap area, and if anybody tries to come to get a reset, they could shoot them on the way in. Somebody's obviously in the cap. And we've got an enemy turning up really close. It's the Emil. He's come back off the hill. Oh, and oh, thank God the AMX-50 was reacting quickly. He must have had a fully loaded magazine and was able to pump in a round, but he just took an Arty round. This is awkward. Now, Zdzikus has got 4 rounds of ammo left. And this particular ammo does have quite a large splash area. I can just check that. Yes, it's got splash radius or burst radius of 12.6 meters. There's the Scorpion. Rounds out. Direct hit. 1,095 hit points. And he's wiped out immediately afterwards. That's a really good shot. Does a huge amount of damage to a very dangerous opponent. But there is still somebody in the cap. The Object 263's come up over the top and he's overlooking the cap area. But that's a very bad position to be in because it means now he's obvious and open to return fire. I don't know why he came over there. He should have just sat in grid square D5. He could have overlooked the cap and shot at anybody coming towards it. But from this position, he's going to get wiped out. Line him up. And rounds out. 187 hit points. And more stun assists coming in. Now somebody is still in the cap. Now we haven't got anybody near the cap other than the Pershing and the Centurion. And I think they're worried about moving forward because if they do, they're going to get shot at. But we need somebody to tell us where the enemy is. And Zdzikus is saying spot base. He's asking somebody to go in, tell us where they are. We're almost loaded. We're loaded. Where is he? I reckon he'll be behind the wreck. Behind the Scorpion. There he is. Oh, he's next to the Scorpion. Rounds out. Oh, and he got the reset. 440 hit points as well. The Scorpion's dead meat. He's been ram killed. And we're now capping. And now it's just 2 enemy Arty to kill. It looks like Zdzikus. There was the Tracer. I just saw the Tracer. He's marked the spot. And he's indicating on the map where to look. The AMX-50 120 is on the way in. The Pershing's sitting near the cap area, but he's not actually in the cap area. And they found the M40, M43, and he's headed for the water. 1 round left. Now we're holding fire at the moment. Oh, the M40 is trying to commit suicide. Now, that's a proper scumbag. And we reserve that term for people who suicide because we fight to the death always. Zdzikus is trying to get the kill. No, he's died. He's drowned himself. Anybody who doesn't fight to the end, go down fighting, isn't a true player, isn't a proper player. Proper Arty players fight to the death. If we can, if we can't shoot them, we ram them. And it looks like the other one drowned as well. So another scumbag. Because what Arty Noobs players don't drown themselves. We fight to the end. So let's have a look at the end of battle. Oh, look at this haul of medals. It was a first class tanker for Zdzikus in the GW Tiger P. He also picked up a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 20 in that battle. A Gore's medal for doing more damage exceeding 8 times the hit points of his own vehicle. The High Calibre for dealing the most damage during the battle. A Defender medal for resetting the cap and getting at least 70 defense medals on the cap. And lastly, a Confederate medal as well for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. At least 6 tanks subsequently taken out by other teammates. And there's so many that it's actually run to 2 pages on that one. So, win 8 of 5, 332. Very good battle. And that was better than the last one, because in the last one, he did get an ace and a Gore's, but was it an ace and a Gore's? I think it was, yes. But in this one, he's got a whole haul of medals. So, team score. Well, highest damage, naturally, 5,107 hit points of damage in that one. The next highest scorer on his own team was 2,730 for the AMX50-120, and we're very glad that he was awake to actually take out that Emil at the last moment, because that could have been very embarrassing if he'd then taken out Zdzikus and he wasn't available to actually get the reset. The Emil on the enemy team managed to get 3,211 in that battle. He was the highest scorer on the enemy team. But when it came to kills, it was the Pershing who got the most kills on our team. He managed to get 3 kills, and Zdzikus didn't get any kills at all during that battle, but he did do a lot of damage, so he picks up other medals instead. The highest scorer on the enemy team was the Emil and the Scorpion and the Oho. They managed 2 kills apiece. So let's have a look at base XP. And again, Zdzikus, 1,121 base experience points, higher than the Pershing with 1,054 and the Centurion 7-1 with 936. Highest score on the enemy team was the Emil 2. He managed 607, and he almost got to the AMX50-120 and of course Zdzikus. So let's have a look at detail report. 14 shots fired, only 1 round left at the end. He didn't fire it. He should have fired at the last enemy tank as he was in the water. If he'd actually got the kill in the water, it would still be valid if he'd actually hit the target. He did get 7 direct hits, 7 penetration and 10 splash. Damage of 5,107 hit points, all at more than 300 meters. He hit 9 of the enemy but didn't get any kills, so there was a 9 differential. He only needed 6 to get the Confederate and for it to be higher than anybody else's differential. But he got 9, so there was no way anybody else was going to get a Confederate when he had such a high amount of enemies that he hit. That's 3/5 of the enemy team. So he managed to do 400 hit points of stun assist off 17 stuns, and when he reset the cap at 98 cap points, so he got 98 defense points, so the enemy had all but completed their cap with the Striv had when he reset that cap. So well done on getting that. It was very, very close. On a standard count, he earned 40,168 credits, and there was a lot of ammunition fired, 29,120 credits worth there, so he actually only took away 11,048 credits overall. But he did get 10 bonds for all of those medals in that battle, so that's very worthwhile as well. He picked up 1,121 base XP, times 2 for the first victory of the day, took away 2,242 experience points altogether. So a particularly good round there by Zdzikus, and as I said, this was the second battle out of 2 that he sent me, both with the GW Tiger P, and he's getting better and better every game he plays in this particular Arty. So, and I've noticed that as well with my Arty, so the more you play it, the better it becomes. So if you enjoyed this replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in the next video.